You're going to be seeing a lot of my shirt designs that actually translate into like pillows for some, pants for some, mugs, or whatever. So Mellow Vibes, we have a Teespring site, and like, okay, what I'm gonna be covering is like, how did I get into designing stuff, right? Um, well, I'm a creative, and I've literally always loved to make things. I've loved to design. I started designing things when I was like 5. So I had a little doll. Her name was Fanny, and I had this tie dye. It was a purple and pink tie dye, which I hate purple and pink, like especially together. Like I don't like it. But this was always what my mom would give me and my cousin Aisha, who's my best friend, always giving us purple and pink stuff either together, or she would get pink and I would get purple for everything. We had the same thing, and it was always purple and pink. Even when I was in my uncle's wedding, when I was 9, and we were flower girls, and I had a purple sash and she had a pink sash around our dresses, and I was just like, why? So anyway, I had a purple and pink tie-dye Mickey and Minnie Mouse shirt, and I cut it up. And I put it around my doll Fanny, and I cut around her, and then I sewed it together. I don't know how I started sewing and learning how to sew when I was 5, but I hand sewed, and still to this day I hand sew everything. Like, don't ask me to use a sewing machine. Like I've done it, but I don't recall how to do it. Like I haven't done it enough. But but I've done it because my aunt is a sewing teacher, and she's always sewed and done a ton of different things in my cousin's wedding dress and all that stuff. So I have used a sewing machine. I can, if I am like reschooled. But yeah, I've always done by hand, and I started when I was 5. And so I've always liked to design things. I used to sketch in my notebooks when I was like in class in like elementary school, and I would sketch out like how I wanted my wedding dress to be and how I wanted my prom dresses to be. And this is like when I was probably 10 or something. I still have some of those sketches to this day, and so I've always just liked the the act of designing. And so I did actually design my senior prom dress, not my junior, but I did design my senior prom dress, which, yeah, and then I had somebody make it. So I'm like, I'm not that skilled where I'm going to make my dress, but here's the design, and here you go. And so I've always liked things that I had my own touch on. And oh, side note for that prom dress, I did, maybe I'll post a picture. Uh, I did wear it again, um, 15 years later. So July 2019, I wore it on a cruise, and I just like, again, redesigned it because I had one strap that went like this, and I cut the strap off. And was that it? Did I just cut off the strap? I feel like I did something else. But anyway, and I was able to squeeze myself into that, which is so funny because literally I remember trying it sophomore year of college, and I couldn't even get that dress up. So I guess I really had, because my mom always talks about, remember sophomore year when you had gained a lot, or or the end of freshman year into sophomore year, I had gained like probably 8 pounds, which isn't that much because you always had like the freshman 15, but I only gave like maybe 8, and so it was probably not even actually. Whatever. So I couldn't fit into it, but I've been able to fit in it recently. So anyway, so I've always liked my hand on things, and so designing shirts seemed like the cool thing to do and not have to worry about like the actual manufacturing of it. I've designed different things in the past just for myself. Like I have this sweatshirt that says "I would cuddle you so hard," and that's because I literally saw somebody on the boardwalk when I was in Jersey one year, and they had a shirt that said "I'll cuddle you so hard." I ran up to them like, "Where did you get that shirt?" And they were like, "Oh, they said they saw somebody else wearing something like that, and they had their shirt designed." And so I'm like, "I'm gonna have my shirt designed." So I went somewhere on the boardwalk, and I was like, "Let me do that," and I picked whatever, like the thing that I wanted and colors that I wanted, blah blah blah. And I love that sweatshirt. But yeah, I just like having my own like things. I love shirts that say stuff like, oh my gosh, every year in college, from freshman year to senior year, every first day of the semester, I wore this shirt that I loved, and I think I got it from like Filene's, because I used to work at Filene's before I went to college. If you don't know what filings is, I don't know what to tell you, but it said board of education, but not like a board of education, but like your board of education, which I was. I didn't want to go to college at all. That's another story. But I always like stuff that says stuff. So that's how I got into doing shirts. And the point of the things that I have on Mellow Vibes on our site is just for something that's going to inspire you, clothes that inspire you. Or clothes that will motivate you. So, like my favorite thing to wear from there is from the Mellow Vibe shop is my red hoodie. I just love a hoodie in general, so that's probably always my favorite thing is a hoodie. And it says like on the back, it says Mellow Vibes on the front, and on the back it says "Too high on life for you to reach me." And so it just always reminds me to keep like my vibe up, keep my frequency up, and just focus on like the things that are gonna elevate me, not versus the things that may bring me down. So, so things like that. Like I have, different shirts. I like the other one I did too. That's like Mellow Vibes. It says MVP, like the real MVP, and it stands for Mellow Vibes Peace, because I'm always like, and the peace is the the why and vibes. So anyway, that's how I got into designing. To make a long story short, this is a little bit longer than I intended, but that is how I got into it. And so check out the shirts. And there are, if you get the deep dive bundle, there is a 10% discount on the shirts. And I'll get into deep dive bundle a little bit later if you don't know what I'm talking about, but it is on mellowvibes.com. And I'll see you later. Peace and mellow vibes.